Well, first things first, Happy New Year to one and all. And second of all, welcome to Helsinki, Finland, in the middle of January. And no, I'm not regretting my decision to be here. I've actually come to see my mom. Yeah, Finland for me is literally the motherland. My mom lives in a place called Akteri, which if I was to take the train from the central station around the corner, it would take me probably around 4.5 hours to get there. But here's the deal. I come to Finland probably twice a year on average to see my mom, and actually I never really make it further north than that. So why don't you join me on this adventure in Finland, where tonight we're going to be taking a night train up to Kemi. Well, it's still about another 6 hours until my train. I basically just landed in Helsinki this morning about an hour and a half ago, made my way into the city center, and yeah, of course, we gotta look at a little bit of Helsinki together, right? Like, come on, it would be ridiculous if we didn't do that. You see this cathedral behind me? This is the Uspensky, which is a Russian Orthodox cathedral, which highlights the fact that Finland did used to be part of the Russian Empire. That was the case until 1917, when Finland is able to proclaim its independence because of the nationalities policy of Vladimir Lenin and the Bolsheviks after their seizure of power in Petrograd. Well, as you might know, Finland was a non-aligned country during the Cold War. It had pretty good relations with the Soviet Union and also very robust relations with the Western world, spearheaded by the United States. And until 2022, there were still relations in place between the two countries. The events of 2022, that's what prompted Finland to join NATO. So things have changed significantly. But you might be surprised that here in the middle of Helsinki, you can find this Soviet mosaic, which is from an artist by the name of Ter Grigorian, and it sits on what used to be the Soviet Scientific and Cultural Center, and later on the Russian Scientific and Cultural Center, closed in 2023. Yeah, completely abandoned from the looks of it, but the signage is still all here, but I would imagine nobody's been in here in quite a long time. You know, if you look online, you can definitely find a few travel videos that would advise you against coming to Helsinki in January. And to be totally real with you, Helsinki I've never found to be the most exciting city in Europe by any stretch of the imagination. Finland to me is really all about the nature. It's all about getting out into the countryside, and you'll see. I think once we get on that train tonight, it's going to be a very different experience. And here it is, the Vanha Kauppahalli, or Central Market Hall. Let's go check it out. Yeah, it's a pretty epic market hall, and there's certain things that are just quintessentially Finnish, like reindeer I basically grew up having. My mom will probably have some of that for me tomorrow when I get to her house. But yeah, I never thought I would see something like reindeer Iskender, so basically the fusion of, well, the Finnish and the Turkish. I figured I would come down here by the harbor while it's still not too cold and tell you a little bit more about the journey. Now, like I said, Kemi is pretty far north. In fact, it's the furthest north I'll have been in Finland in a long time, probably since I was a kid, to be honest. And the thing is, VR, which stands for State Railways, very original acronym, right? Basically, they're supposed to have some incredible sleeper trains. Now, I've taken their intercity trains many times to visit my mom, but never a sleeper train. And yeah, the most famous one is known as the Santa Claus Express, which goes up to the city of Rovaniemi, but I figured we would do something a little bit more retro, because VR also operates what's known as blue carriages, basically manufactured in the 1970s and the 1980s, and the only line that they run on all year round is actually the one that we're taking tonight. And here we are at the Rautatieasema. Here we are at the central train station. Still a little bit more than 2 hours until departure, but from what I've been reading, it might be possible to get on the train maybe up to an hour in advance. So let's just chance it. All right, well, from what I remember, yeah, these doors are heavy. This station was definitely built to last. And there it is, I see it. 8:29, the 269 night train to Kolari. It'll be departing on track number 8. Well, it was a little bit of wishful thinking. I thought that maybe there was a chance that I'd be able to get onto the train about an hour early, but it's now 29 minutes until departure and still no train to be found. Well, here we go. It's kind of bizarre because I can already see how these modern carriages here, double-deckers, eventually give way down the platform to the blue carriages. And here we go. Suddenly it's become very old school. Now I think these cars were built in 1978, but we'll find out when we get on. Alright, so this is us, 47. Let's see if I can get up on here. Woo. Oh, I'm loving the vibe of this already. Maybe I should close the door. Alright, and it'll be number 28. Let's see if I can find it. I'm lost already. I feel like this happens every single time. Here. Wow, room for 1, 2, and 3. Tonight it's just me. Well, I am on, and I gotta say, I am loving this, man. I mean, let me show you the orange decor. Right, I've got my key card in case I end up going out, which actually I'm going to do in just a moment because I want to explore the corridor over here. Now check it out, man. We got a route map for VR from 2006, so 19 years old. And here we go, peeling out of Helsinki Central Station. 11 hours and 23 minutes until Kemi, so due to arrive at 7:52 a.m. And yeah, don't think we're really going to be getting any daylight. Got a nice reading lamp over here. Well, now that we're basically off and running, let me break down the price point for this journey. So the thing is, this was 90 euros. 90 euros, which is pretty damn good, because to be fair, we are in the Nordics, and even if we weren't, I would expect to pay significantly more in Germany or anywhere in Central Europe. So yeah, this is good value for money. Let's see if we get there on time though. Man, well, so far I am absolutely loving this journey, but the thing is I am also exhausted. So I think what I'm gonna do is basically try to get a quite early night. It's only about 9:30 right now, so been on for about an hour. So yeah, let me try to get a little bit of sleep, and I'll try to wake up early. Well, good morning. It's just gone 2 in the morning, and we've just passed Seinäjoki, which is normally where I would change to take the train to my mom's to Akteri. So only about an hour from Akteri, but actually we've got another 5 hours and 52 minutes this morning. Alright, so let's go for a little walk. A few minutes until we get into Oulu. And here we are pulling into Oulu at 5:42 a.m. Now I think there's going to be, according to the timetable, a 48-minute break here. Maybe they're changing the locomotive. So yeah, I think it's a good time to get off for a little bit and get a little bit of fresh air. Alright, well let's see if we can get off for a bit. I think we press this button. This one. It's hard to figure out. I don't want to get left behind, but it looks like we got plenty of time. Alright, so I'm gonna chance it. It does seem like we have quite a lot of time here in Oulu. Yeah, freezing cold this morning. I mean, -7 degrees. A stark change from Helsinki, where it was actually in the plus. But yeah, what an amazing experience this has been so far. I mean, only about 2 hours to go until Kemi, and to be honest, I wish this journey was longer. I mean, this is the best sleep I've had on a sleeper train by far, and just incredibly comfortable. And here's the restaurant car, Ravintola Vauna. Might actually check it out and get a little coffee in a minute. Very nice on here and very, very empty. Well, so here we are. We've got ourselves a coffee and apparently the entirety of the restaurant car to ourselves. And yeah, basically a coffee and a water, €5.60, which doesn't actually seem all that bad for Finland. Alright, one last check of the cabin, make sure I have everything. And yeah, I think it's go time. Alright, well I think this is Kemi. No announcements or nothing, and man, it is quiet. So welcome to Kemi. 4 minutes ahead of schedule, 7:48 in the morning. And I just checked, and sunrise is set for 10:03. Now the thing is, I do have a train to Seinäjoki en route to my mom's at 10:32, so I'm not really going to be getting any daylight here in Kemi, and it is fucking cold. So anyway, let's see if we can go inside somewhere for a little bit.